Garry, Paskwietz, and Darrell Rideaux here at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum after an incredible game. The USC Trojans defeating the Texas Longhorns 27-24 in double overtime. And Darrell, for the most part of this game, it wasn't an incredibly exciting football game. But the way they finished, the way the Trojans got this thing done, Trojan fans are leaving with smiles on their faces tonight.
Absolutely, Garry. And being a part of the experience of in this stadium, the electricity of it, I felt like I was on the football field playing once again. I'm exhausted. It was such a great finish. And once again, our Trojans showed a resilience that we've come to appreciate.
Yeah, and let's talk about that. Really, you look at the way they finished the first half. Yeah. The way they finished the second half, and then the way they finished overtime. When the Trojans needed to answer the bell today, they came through with flying colors.
And you talk about it, Garry. At times, you wonder where are these plays going to come from. When it felt like momentum was shifting back towards the Longhorns, it was the Trojans that found a way to get into the end zone with just an incredible play to end the first half, one that I've never seen before. You know, oftentimes teams practice a Hail Mary play, and we always talk about throwing that prolific play into the end zone like an Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers, but it wasn't that. It was the savviness of Sam Darnold to find a check down. And who did he find? His good friend Rideaux.
And with a block by Stephen Mitchell as a big-time assist as well. And then you go to the end of the second half when the Longhorns had taken the lead and the Trojans needed to come back. Clay Helton said it was the best 2-minute drive that I've ever seen.
Absolutely. And when you're a coach and you try to rehearse things in practice, you wonder, will it actually play out the way that you rehearse it in practice? And in some cases, it doesn't. But when it does and it clicks, you have those magical moments. And when USC, once again, needed one to create the finish that we were looking for when you're talking about USC-Texas, the prequel or the sequel that there is, this was one of those moments where when you needed that touchdown, you had to have it. Boy, did they perform.
And then let's talk about the end of the game when you're talking rolling Chase McGrath out there after Sam Darnold had made his share of plays. The throw to Stephen Carr, getting it to Stephen Mitchell out by the sideline. But then you're putting Chase McGrath out there and saying, win this game for the Trojans, Mr. Walk-On True Freshman, and he delivers.
And not only does he deliver, Garry, but think about how the momentum had already shifted back to Texas. And Ehlinger summoned his inner Vince Young. The way that he finished out that first half to put Texas on the board. I wondered, how was USC going to react with 45 seconds left? You know, with no timeouts, what did they do? They marched down the field methodically, made the necessary plays, and had a couple of opportunities, I thought, to really put the game away. But once again, it comes down to a clutch moment, clutch performance, and the kick of one's lifetime, and he delivers.
Let's talk about a couple individual players I want to give. Porter Gustin obviously had a crack in his toe. Didn't look like he was going to be able to play. Gets a couple sacks. That's all he had. Did not come out for the second half. But you talk about laying it on the field. Porter Gustin did that tonight.
And I thought his first half was very heroic. There was 2 plays in a row where he delivered on some sacks that were really momentum changers. And on that drive, I thought that he gave everything that he could. Unfortunately, he was unable to come out for the second half. But boy, when the Trojans needed leadership from someone, they summoned, and Gustin delivered.
And there was a lot of guys on offense who came together, but you wanted to mention Tyler Vaughns. Yeah, looking for that other receiver to really step up, and that looked like a touchdown to me to Tyler at the end. I don't really know anything that reversed it, but what did you see tonight?
Well, once again, we're talking about, looking for that next playmaker to really step up. And I thought Vaughn played exceptional. In his concentration, what I saw was control. I thought he had 2 hands on the ball, and although the ball might have touched the grass, it did not move. In my opinion, I looked from the end zone. I thought I had a really good look. But fortunate for the Trojans, they had an extra down. And again, once again, they were able to cap it off. But you would love to have seen that type of poetic justice, a play ending like that, which would ultimately have been the game winner.
Yeah, poetic justice still took place, though. For those of us who were around in 2006, this didn't change anything from that game. But how familiar did it feel when Ehlinger drove him down and completed that touchdown at the end? I know every Trojan fan in there was thinking, no. This can't happen again.
This can't happen again. And I was yelling to everybody who can listen. This feels just like the Rose Bowl in 2006. And when I talked about Ehlinger summoning his inner Vince Young, it was the way that he took control and command at the end of the game, using his feet to extend plays, finding open guys. And I'm watching the secondary back up closer and closer into the end zone. And when he was able to drive his team and score that touchdown to put them up, my heart dropped. It sank. What were we going to do to continue on? And oftentimes, like I said, a situation like that, teams, they wilt. They give up. But this team has so much character, so much girth, that I'm just so proud that they had the extended amount of time that a Matt Leinart did not have in the Rose Bowl. 45 seconds to go, no timeouts, no problem. I love it.
That's our report here from Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. For Darrell Rideaux, this is Garry Paskwietz. You're watching WeAreSC.